What's up, you guys? Welcome to Aftershock. I'm Aaron, and today we've got last night's WWE NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. I'm going to be bringing you guys the results and my review, so let's not waste any time. First match was actually a pretty decent opener. No Way Jose versus Austin Aries. I thought it could have been a tad better, maybe, but it was okay. It was a good opener. No complaints. Jose ended up breaking the first last chancery. He hit a clean, good-looking TKO. Aries ended up getting the win via a sunset flip powerbomb into the last chancery. I mean, I'm okay. I'm definitely okay with Austin Aries winning, but just looking into the future, No Way Jose, he's got to be climbing the rungs, you know. He's got to be a prospect to be a draft to the main roster. A draft. But you don't want to bring him in too soon. You don't want to bring him in when you have nothing for him, but I think it's a safe bet. Just don't make No Way Jose another Adam Rose. It's a safe bet he's going to be in NXT for a while, but when you bring him up, make sure you got something for him. That's just my opinion, because if he turns into another Adam Rose, it's not going to be pretty. Post-match, Hideo Itami comes out. They botch a tad bit, but he ends up hitting the GTS. I think that's the first time I've seen it on NXT. And nice touch. Corey Graves mentioning that he, in fact, is the one that created the move. That is correct. Nice touch mentioning that Punk didn't create it. It was Hideo Itami Kenta. Next match, we had Billie Kay versus Ember Moon. It was the debut match of Ember Moon on NXT. I think she came out of Booker T's school. Maybe, you know. Went some places in between, but she came originally from Booker T's school. That's pretty cool. So this is her debut match on NXT, and I absolutely loved her. I'm not gonna lie, loved Ember Moon. She was highly athletic. The match went as expected. Billie Kay hitting some good stuff. You know, you can't job Billie Kay out right now if you're grooming her to be one of the next top women wrestlers. But you gotta give the debuting Ember Moon the win, and I was absolutely blown away by her finisher. It was like a top rope flying, twisting stunner. It was fucking wicked, and she hit it so as clean as anybody could ever hit it. No miscommunication whatsoever. The move went crisp. The move was absolutely crazy to me. So Ember Moon wins via a flying stunner from the top rope. Match was about a 5 of 10, but it was a debut match just to basically showcase what Ember Moon's about, and it done its job. Next match was yet another debut match, a TV debut. Bobby Roode versus Andrade Cien Almas. Like I said, it was Bobby Roode's TV debut. He did a few matches. He has done a few matches in the live events. I guess. I think his entrance was really cool. He was standing up on a big high platform, you know, with his arms out, glorious hit, and he slowly lowered. It was really cool with all the light and stuff. The child was singing his theme song as expected. I was too, sitting in my house. They chanted, "This is glorious" instead of "This is awesome." That's really cool. It ended up being a pretty good match. Obviously, Bobby Roode gets the win and giving Almas his first loss in NXT with a new finisher. Kind of lackluster, I thought, but it's not a bad finisher. I'm not going to lie. It's a pump handle. He pulls him up in the pump handle for the side slam. Not the full pump handle slam, but a side slam. Called it the Glorious Bomb. Duh. Now, the match was about a 6.5 of 10 for me. It was a pretty good match. And now NXT is officially glorious. Next match was probably the show stealer. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus the Revival. Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Match of the night, probably, I'd have to say. About a 7.5 of 10, 7.5. So much suspense building in this match for Gargano and Ciampa win. A lot of cool double team moves, and we've seen a lot of heel tactics by the Revival. Takes me back to like a classic 80s tag team match, you know. You always got the heel tactics all throughout the match. You got the suspense building, the hot tags, the missed hot tags, you know. All around a great match. After a lot of heel tactics by the Revival, they ended up retaining the a tap out. Gargano tap to an inverted figure 4 lock. Excuse me. I would have liked to have seen Gargano and Ciampa win, but I didn't figure they would. Next match was a really good match. Bayley versus Asuka for the NXT Women's Championship. I thought their first match was maybe a tad better, but this match was no slouch itself. It was a good match. About a 6 of 10. Asuka's just so crisp with those flying submissions, I think. I think that's what draws me to her. She's just so crisp. One botched powerbomb spot. It wasn't a bad botch, but they did miss a powerbomb spot and have to go back to it. The Asuka lock was applied twice. Bayley broke it both times. Asuka kicked out of the Bayley to Bayley. I think that's the first person to ever do that. Maybe. I don't know. I've never seen anybody kick out of it, I don't think. Asuka ends up retaining via a buzzsaw kick, which is awesome. Post-match, Bayley and Asuka ends up hugging, and, you know, the code of honor in NXT. Showing respect. Bayley ends up going outside of the ring and hugging Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch and Charlotte, who are at ringside. Now we come to our final match, our main event for the NXT Championship. Shinsuke Nakamura against the defending champion Samoa Joe. Great match. At least a 7 of 10 at least. A really good match. I loved Nakamura's entrance with the violin. That guy's so talented. Never heard of him. Don't even know his name. But whoever you are so talented. We've seen a lot of good move sequences and spots. Joe kicked out of the Kinshasa. Nakamura actually kicked out of the Muscle Buster. That freaked me out. Nakamura ends up winning via 2 more Kinshasas, one from the top rope in the back like he usually does, and then he hits him with the original. And now we have a new NXT champion. I pretty much thought this was how it was going to play out. They would have an epic match. Shinsuke finally getting the NXT championship so Joe can move on to the main roster whenever they feel he's ready. He's ready to go now. That's his ties being snip cut. I think at the end of the match, maybe Joe may have injured his jaw from that that first Kinshasa that he kicked out of. I think Nakamura just clobbered him, so I think he really may have broke his jaw. 6.5 of 10 overall for the show. I thought last year's was probably better, not gonna lie, as most would think, but this wasn't a bad show by any means. This was a pretty steady card, a pretty good show. So I do recommend actually checking out NXT Brooklyn 2, TakeOver Brooklyn 2 if you can. Gonna be trying to get some fairly recent, but should already had them out. 2 or 3 more reviews I've got maybe today and tomorrow, so keep looking out for those. If you guys enjoy my videos, enjoy these reviews, just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, super kick it for me. Not really much else to say other than waiting on SummerSlam tonight. Gonna get that review out as soon as I possibly can. But I do have some other ones that will be coming after that, or maybe before. Maybe before. So, just keep a lookout. Everybody stay easy. Always be positive. Keep it tight. Here I go, stealing one-liners. No, I'm just kidding, you guys. Peace out.